On April 28th, we have Jeremy Scahill will speak, Nick Turse, John Carlos Frey, and Glenn Greenwald has prepared a special 15-minute acceptance speech where he graciously thanks and congratulates all the other winners, and then he talks about the importance of independent journalism. He started his own newsletter called I.F. Stone's Weekly. It's been voted by journalism scholars and journalism professors and journalists as one of the greatest achievements in 20th century American journalism. We've named our award after him, especially because of his work for the Weekly. That he showed, if the mainstream media can't contain your genius or your talents, create your own. So he's sort of a model for all of the people we've given these awards to. And then this year, the Izzy Award is being shared by Nick Turse, who has been exposing the civilian casualties of U.S. wars from Afghanistan all the way back to Vietnam, and John Carlos Frey, who, because he speaks fluent Spanish, he's a U.S. citizen, his mom is Mexican, he was able to go on both sides of the U.S.-Mexico border to expose all sorts of violence and needless deaths to innocent people in Mexico. And then the new twist this year is we have this problem of Jeremy Scahill and Glenn Greenwald and others whose journalism is so great year after year they could almost win the Izzy year after year, and therefore no one else would win it. And so we've created the I.F. Stone Hall of Fame for people that have already won the Izzy Award once, and this year Glenn Greenwald and Jeremy Scahill have been put in the Hall of Fame. They're the first two. This will be done occasionally. It won't be done every year like the annual Izzy Award. Our award is for outstanding achievement in independent media. There are people that do great work at the New York Times and the Washington Post, not a lot, but some, and those people have awards for them, the Pulitzer Prizes. There's all sorts of awards for them. We wanted an award for people that operated outside of the big corporate structures. So all of the winners of our award do most of their journalism in these independent outlets that aren't connected to big corporate conglomerates. But John Carlos Frey's reporting has led to congressional investigations. It's led to prosecutorial inquiries. It's led to a new practice of training border guards. So that had real impact. And Nick Turse wrote a book about the war crimes that were systematic during the Vietnam War at a time when many people are in the establishment, I think, who want to bring us new wars in the future, are trying to sugarcoat what happened in Vietnam. And Nick Turse, just like I.F. Stone, and he's talked about it, he went into the archives, the government archives, and that's what Izzy Stone was famous for, was digging out gems from federal documents or congressional record. And he went into the archives when he was a doctoral student, and he found that without telling anyone, the U.S. Army had actually investigated their own war crimes, wrote a devastating report showing that it wasn't a one or two isolated incidents, but they were happening all over the Vietnam War. And it was suppressed. He found a report that had dug up incident after incident, interviewed all sorts of people that committed the atrocities or witnessed the atrocities, and that became the basis for his book, Kill Anything That Moves, The Real American War in Vietnam. So it's a difficult process, but that's the good news. It's difficult because there's so much great journalism happening in these independent outlets, more than was happening 10, 15, 20, 30 years ago.